Hello, it's Dr. Abby on Tell Me the Stories of Jesus. Welcome to August. It's the first Sunday in August. We've got 5 Sundays in August. And yes, we have decided we will continue to talk about the great and mighty deeds of God. We will never get tired of it because it strengthens our faith. And because today's story is very short, a rare one, but very short, I'm going to sing to you, my friends. Amazing God, amazing God, you do mind-blowing things. Amazing God, you do mind-blowing things. Amazing God. And yes, that's what all we've been discussing about since the beginning of July is the amazing things that our Father does. Isn't it cool to know that the person who has your back, the person looking out for you, he's just got different ways of coming through for you and I. It's beautiful, it's reassuring, it puts you at peace. And that's why we continue to search the scriptures and talk more about these lovely and beautiful things. Today, we're going to be talking about the Brook Cherith. Brook. You know, the brook is somewhere where water flows, it trickles. And this Brook Cherith, the water trickles, it flows into the river Jordan. Yeah? Our story is in 1 Kings chapter 17, from verses 1 to 7. Like I said, it's a short one. Remember the prophet Elijah. Now the children of Israel had been misbehaving badly and they were worshipping idols. And most times when this happens, it's because there's been something wrong with the leadership. So the king and his wife, King Ahab and Jezebel, King Ahab married who he was not meant to marry. So he married a woman that pulled him into idolatry. And what is idolatry? It's worshiping idols. It's worshiping things that have no life. And remember, in the 10 Commandments, God had warned, you will not bow down to any graven image, anything made with the hand of man. You will have no other God beside me. And the children of Israel just decided to do with the king and the queen, they just all went the wrong way. You know, not in the right way that our Father wanted. So remember, there is always a prophet in the country. It was Prophet Elijah. And God sent him to tell King Ahab, as long as the Lord lives, there will be no rain, no water, no dew. It won't even drizzle, you know, for the time being. And when he said that, Jezebel was a tyrant, the king's wife. She was pure evil. So God knew what would happen, you know, after that. So after he had delivered the message that God sent him, God told him, run, go and hide. God was almighty. He could keep him, but remember, well, we'll come to it when we start to learn. God told him, hide. Go and hide at the Brook Cherith, and I will command the ravens. It has an S, so not just one. Ravens are birds. There are some special type of black birds. He said, I will command them to come and feed you, and you will get drink from that brook. So you drink the water from the brook, so you stay hydrated, because remember, there was not going to be water, there was not going to be rain. Yeah? So God gave him a source where he could get water from. And then the birds will bring food. And true to what God said, imagine, ravens, birds, they brought him bread and meat in the morning. And they brought him bread and meat in the evening. And they continued to do that for a while. That means for some time, until the brook dried up because there was no rain. And then God told Elijah the next place to go to. And like I said, it's a short story. That's the end of the story. Okay? Amazing God. Mind-blowing things. Things you can never, ever imagine. Let's start from the beginning. It's not all the time as children of God that God sends us messages to others that they would like. So God can send me to Mary. God can send me to Ava and say, tell Ava I love her. That's a nice one, isn't it? Tell Mary I'm going to provide for her. That's a good one. Tell Bobby I'm going to heal him. Tell, XYZ, I died for him. I'm going to save him. He should give his life to me. Those are good, palatable messages. But there's some messages. Go and tell Stephen. His attitude is bad. And if he doesn't stop, I'm going to punish him. For Steve, who is already a bad boy, and then you go to him and tell him God is coming to punish him. Those are not nice messages, isn't it? But God has said go. And who do we listen to, Steve or God? We listen to God, yeah? So that's about the same thing that God said Elijah should do. Go and warn Ahab and Jezebel and all the people following them. I will punish them. I will make sure they don't have water. When there's no water, everything starts to die, isn't it? I will make sure they starve. There will be famine. I will deal with them. Now, for a king and a queen that are tyrants, Ahab was just a gullible man. He was ruled by his wife, yeah? So he did everything his wife said, good or bad, yeah? So God sent Elijah on that message and he obeyed. So when God sends us on a message, we listen to who has our back. We listen to the Almighty God. Forget about the person you're going to deliver the message to. God will help you. There are times he even wants you to deliver it as stern as that. Steve, I'm coming for you if you don't stop that nonsense you're doing. And there are times he will tell you, when you go to Steve, invite him to come on break with you. And then as you're walking, say, Steve, it's not nice. So he will tell you which way to deliver the message. But you listen to him. Remember, we said you always listen and you do what he says. You don't shy away. And after Elijah had delivered the message, he said, run. He said, go and hide. So as children of God also, we must apply wisdom as guided by God. That was not the time for Elijah to be going around Israel and saying, I'm the prophet of God. I have told you, this is the second day, it will go longer. This is the second month, it will be longer and longer. This is the 6th month, you will suffer and suffer. No, he had delivered God's message. God said, hide. Because God knew Jezebel and Ahab were cruel. And he listened to God. And he went to that brook and he hid. And God said, I will provide. The great and mighty acts of God. Okay, yes, the water was already flowing. So some of you that like to belittle what God is doing, you're like, that's not a big deal. Okay, that's not a big deal. The water is flowing. But for ravens, for birds, to bring bread and meat, they didn't eat it. They didn't drop it and eat it. That's what birds do, isn't it? They actually gave it to him, left it with him to eat. They brought enough to feed a grown man. That was why they were ravens with S. Together, I don't know how many they were, but they brought enough. They brought it in a way in which he could eat it. They didn't make a mess of it. You can't explain that in science. They have said, I checked about ravens. Yes, they are brilliant. They are intelligent. They can, they identify faces. So maybe they got to know his face and they kept coming back. But how come those were the birds God chose? How come not any other bird? God just knew what he was doing. Mind-blowing things, because he created us all. He has that power. He tells the storm to be still, it's still. He tells the river, bring up that axe. It comes up. He makes abundance in famine. That's God. That fish becomes your money machine, your ATM. That's God. You can't explain it. I cannot explain how birds, for a long time, will come in the morning and the evening. Animals don't obey things that, much, and then consistently, morning and evening. And they fed him, and he was satisfied until, the birds didn't stop, until the brook dried up. That's when God moved Elijah to the next place where he was going to provide for him. Mind-blowing things. As long as you obey God, you follow what He says, He will back you. He is our provider, Jehovah Jireh. Elijah didn't ask him, how am I going to feed? Don't ask. If you will ask, ask nicely. He will answer you. But Elijah was probably at that level of relationship with God that, and it's true, when you practice it more and more, you will find out that your questions are less and less. Because you've seen Him come through so many times, you're like, I trust Him. He'll take care of me. He's fine. So the ravens, animals, brought him food morning and evening until God wanted to move him ahead. The Bible does not say there was any day or any morning or evening where they failed to come. He was filled, and it was that place where he himself was then able to rest. He was hiding. He had his me time with God. I'm sure he took that time to grow and be better and rest. So there are times when what is happening to us, even though it might look bad, Elijah might be feeling sorry for himself. Look at me, a whole prophet, hiding in a brook. At times, God is hiding you from trouble. God is using it to develop you, because when we move to the next story next week, you will see the great and mighty thing that God did through the hand of Elijah. God is building you at that time at the Brook Cherith, just you, learning to trust God for your breakfast, your dinner, for sustenance, to keep you, for water. Amazing God. He will always come through for you. I want you to go back and read that story. It's not long. Come up with other lessons that you can learn from it. But it's one of the great and mighty acts of God that I love. The God, our provider, who provides for us and keeps us safe, fed, growing at the Brook Cherith. Until next Sunday, it's Dr. Abby on Tell Me the Stories of Jesus. Bye.